This bill basically is talking about the extension of the One Lake plan that has been talked about for several years up here, and a tax bill was passed in 2017. This project is still not permitted. There's some people that live downriver from Jackson, and we have serious concerns about this One Lake project. And I have some data. Number one, the Army Corps of Engineers technical review makes it clear that One Lake will not reduce flood risk for local communities. It does not create any additional storage capacity, and that is on their ATR report, June 2020, page 93. One Lake construction will expose local and downstream communities to toxic contamination by disturbing 8 dangerous waste sites. There's no plan to protect public health, with only a paltry $8 million set aside for cleanup. If you remember, MDOT, Mississippi Department of Transportation under Melinda McGrath, confirmed that One Lake would cause the collapse of 9 major bridges. The estimated $110 million cost to replace these bridges is not included in the estimated $345 million construction. That's MDOT letter dated 9/5/2018. One Lake will exacerbate the city of Jackson's water crisis. The J.H. Farrell Water Treatment Plant, which supplies 30% of Jackson's water, and operated during the recent water crisis, could not operate during construction because of dredging-induced water quality problems, forcing Jackson to somehow find a temporary water supply for 3 years and pay for that. Now, my concern about that is we also have a bill to create a utility authority, a regional utility authority. That could put the state of Mississippi being the ones that could wind up having to pay for this additional water treatment facility during the dredging and building of One Lake. I just wanted to bring some of these things to light because all this stuff is not talked about. All you see in the news and the headlines is we got to do something about Jackson's floods. And if I may be wrong, but I believe that I read that Representative Benny Thompson is not for this project. I may be wrong, but I believe I did read that. We have many permits downstream, okay? We have many permits. We have a Georgia Pacific plant in Monticello that's in Senator Barrett's district. We have numerous permits, and any change to the flow, low flow down that Pearl River would put these folks in violation and shut them down and cause those jobs to be lost. So I just want to make you aware. I know I'm not going to stop this bill right here, but I want to make folks aware that there are people downstream. The oyster industry has been devastated by the opening of the Bonnie Carey spillway. That water quality in the Mississippi Sound is severely impacted by what happens in the Pearl River, okay? There are studies that show that that will further decimate the oyster industry if One Lake is built. It will change the water quality of what's going into the Mississippi Sound, and all the money that's been put into rebuilding the oyster industry would basically be just busted. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And I'm not going to vote to table this motion.
Okay. Senator Wiggins, for what purpose, sir?
Question.
Question, Senator, which first? Senator Hill?
Senator Hill.
Senator Hill.
Yes.
Thank you, Senator Hill, for bringing this to our attention. Are you aware of the reports in the Sun Herald and WLOX that talks about how bad the One Lake project will be for the Gulf Coast seafood industry?
Yes, that's what I'm referencing when I'm talking about the oyster industry.
And the Bonnie Carey spillway, which you mentioned, that's from Louisiana that opened and destroyed it. And the One Lake, from what I understand, the One Lake project is going to exacerbate that and add to what the Bonnie Carey spillway has done.
Yes, maybe in a different form, but yes, it will adversely affect it 100%.
And are you aware that from Pearl River County south, that all pretty much every interest group, politicians, government entity have all raised very serious concerns about this One Lake project?
I would say that it's farther north than Pearl River County. I know that the mayor of Monticello has made trips to Washington, D.C., and she is adamantly opposed to it because of the Georgia Pacific plant and many other discharge permits from industries along that river. In
this bill, and it slid by me as well, in this bill, is there is this creating the one leg project?
No, this bill is basically allowing the levy district to expand into Hinds County and add 2 more board members if the project moves forward.
If so, this is not allowing the one lake project, but this is creating.
Preparing for it.
Preparing for it.
Yes.
Do we know what the status of the one lake project is, where it sits, I guess?
It still sits in the hands of the feds. And we do know that there's been movement in DC to bypass the normal processes that something of this magnitude would happen. We also know that there's been $224 million appropriated in DC before any permits or final
Senator, I'm
approval
sorry,
has
the
ever
5
been
minutes,
made.
your 5 minutes has expired. We are going to call on the
Request additional 5 minutes.
Request additional? No, on this particular motion, I don't believe we do. Just 1 second, please. Okay. I'm sorry, Senator, it's 5 minutes total. So we're ready for the vote.
Would
Senator?
you not extend additional 5 minutes?
No, ma'am, it's not allowed. Thank you very much.
It is allowed, I think. I think I've seen it before.
Speak with Bob. He's right there. Senator Simmons?
Your Honor, I understand, not Your Honor. Mr. President, I understand that the proponents for the motion, we get 5 minutes as well.
No, sir, you waived that when you yielded to her. So it's now time for the vote.
Okay.
You need to make your motion, sir.
Move the table.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.